All right, guys, new intro for the Bear Pack. We have some changes to the rules. These are the new rules. We talked about it, and we're going to change it just a little bit. So I'm going to read these off for you guys. We're looking for one person each week to come on and record all game picks for NBA, NCAA basketball, NFL, and NCAA football. To enter, comment banana on any of the videos you see on Sunday. Once you comment, we will have you on a wheel, so no need to comment again. We're going to spin the wheel one time per week until the end of the NBA season for new guest pickers. The individual with the best percentage record-wise will win cash prizes. We have first place is going to win $500, second place $300, third place $200. So to enter, comment banana, come back the next day, see if you've won, because we got to start on Monday with a new picker every week. Every week you're going to come on for the entire week. You're going to give your picks, and we're going to move on. Trey, we also hit 9,000 subs. So thank you guys very much. We're going to give away a sports memorabilia item, and we're going to give that away to the Bear Pack. So comment. What should we have them comment for this, Trey?
We should probably have them comment split, like banana split.
Okay. Comment split on any of the videos you see today to enter in that 9K sub giveaway. We're going to do that on our live show. We're going to spin the wheel, and then we're going to have you guys pick something that you want. We're not going to pick for you. So comment split down below if you want in that 9K. Next is 10K subs for $1,000 giveaway. We're very excited for that. Enough talking. Let's get to the video. All right, guys, let's get in some NCAA football picks and props for Saturday, November 25th slate of games. Trey, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Start us off.
Yeah, at the moment, I am 0 for 0. That's because I gave out Oregon at home, minus 13.5 against Oregon State. I have a lot of confidence in the Ducks to show up in this game and win it by 2 touchdowns. Dan Lanning, he's going to definitely have a enticing pregame speech to get his boys buzzing.
Yep, and I had Nebraska on the money line. I had the Iowa Hawkeyes team total under 11.5. Probably one of the most frustrating games I've watched. Iowa, they didn't make hardly any mistakes. They did fumble the ball twice, but they got right back on top of it. Nebraska had 3 total turnovers, and then they had the interception from Purdy. He didn't have a great game, but that was a really, really bad play, and it set Iowa up, and then they allowed a 17-yard run, and it was a chip shot. And by the way, the kicker they brought out, I think his name was Meter, something like that. It was his first kick in his college career, and he drilled it, and then they put him on the shoulders like Rudy. So pretty tough day for me betting on Nebraska, and then they cashed the over on the last second. So bad day for me, 0-2. I wanted to smash my head into the wall. Let's move on. I need to bounce back today. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, good luck on that. And I'm going to be attacking the Virginia Tech at Virginia game. And this should be a pretty entertaining game to watch. This is kind of an underrated rivalry game in college football. But over the last 10 times these two teams have faced off, Texas Tech there 9-1 straight up and 6-4 ATS against Virginia. They've basically dominated this matchup, and I do expect that to continue here. Give me Virginia Tech here, minus 2.5 in this game. I fully expect them to win this game by a field goal pretty easily. In Virginia Tech, they come this game with a 5-6 record and are 6-5 ATS. And they did lose at home last week against NC State, 35-28. But the week before that, they did beat Boston College and put 48 points up on them. And Virginia, they come this game with a 3-8 record, but are 8-3 ATS this season. But they seem to be limping in this game. They're pretty injury riddled at the moment. And that's because they've lost their star running back in Perry Jones. And without Jones, their offense has seemed to be sputtering at the moment. And I think it's going to turn them back into a dumpster fire because that's going to lead them solely to just run their offense through Malik Washington. And Washington, he is a great wide receiver, maybe even elite, because he's putting up a pretty long streak of triple digits in a row. But I think he should struggle in this game to find consistency. That's because Virginia Tech, they come in this game only allowing 166 passing yards per game, which is the 5th lowest in all of college football. So I expect the Hokies to come in this road game and dominate here. So give me Virginia Tech here, minus 2.5 against Virginia.
Yeah, Trey, I love that play there. For my play today, I'm going to be looking at FAU going against Rice. Going to be a little bit of a short explanation. I kind of did this on the member side as well for the YouTube plays with another game, but this is it for some of these teams. We have FAU, who's a 4-win team, going against Rice at home, who's a 5-win team. That means Rice is playing for everything in this game to make a bowl appearance, and I'm going to take them minus 4.5 to cover the spread against FAU. I also like Rice in this game because they've been playing much more competitive football over the last 4 games. They only lost by 2 points against Tulane, 5 points against SMU, and they beat Charlotte in their last game as well. They've also covered the spread in 4 of the last 5 games. And when we look at FAU, they have now dropped 3 consecutive games, and they've been blown out in a lot of those games, not covering the spread in 4 of the last 5. I think the Owls do enough here, especially on the offensive side of the ball with Jayden Daniels. I think they can score 40 points in this game. On their home field, they're going to lock up a bowl game. Give me Rice, minus 4.5 as my play. Dennis, what do you like?
I like the Ohio State Buckeyes tomorrow, and I'm going my pick money line for them to win. They're the eye test, which I watch both of these teams every week that they play. Michigan they've got good players, McCarthy, Corum, but Ohio State, their defense is that's what they've lacked the last couple of years in stopping Michigan. But that defense has got better and better as this year goes. It's the best defense I've seen them have in the last couple of years when they've lost to Michigan. And also Michigan, there's good kids there, but the adults can't handle the house and got the house out of order. And no matter how good kids are, young guys, it messes with their head. Ohio State, maybe not the best quarterback we've ever had, but he's good enough. And we've got the best player in the nation, Marvin Harrison Jr. We beat Michigan tomorrow outright.
I love that explanation. It made me want to take Ohio State as one of my plays. But all right, I love the confidence of Ohio State there. Trey, let's move on to the player props. Have you start us off?
Yeah, and I went 1-0 yesterday. That's because I gave out Blake Watson over 66.5 rush yards against Temple. He smashed the over in the game for us. Like I said yesterday, I projected him to reach almost triple digits, and he ended up getting 15 carries in this game and finished with 95 rush yards. He ran all over this leaky Temple defense.
Yes, Trey, thank you. I took him for 80 plus at plus 115, and he did cash for me. So thank you very much for that play. Hopefully you didn't take mine. I had Billy Kemp over 34.5 receiving yards for Nebraska. He had like 4 drops in the game. I'm now understanding why his numbers were so bad this season. He did have a few catches. I think he had 20-something yards, but wasn't close. He had a lot of drops, so it wasn't a great play. Back-to-back bad plays for me. I need to bounce back bad for my player props. Trey, I'll have you start us off for this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to another rushing prop here, and I'm going to go back to a guy that I've been taking a lot this season. Give me Ollie Gordon to go over 130.5 rush yards against BYU. I will once again take an over here for Ollie because he's simply a stud and a sure bet to possibly eclipse 150 rush yards on any given day. That's because over his last 8 games, he's simply been everything for this Cowboys offense. Because Ollie, over that span, he's averaged a massive 163 rushing yards per game, which is well over this number. And I think he's going to end the regular season here with a bang. That's because he's getting a absolutely great matchup here against BYU. And the Cougars, they have a defense that is very leaky, needless to say. They come this game ranked as the 14th worst rush defense of college football. That's because they allow a massive 187 rush yards per game. And Gordon, so far this season, he's accounted for 77% of Oklahoma State's rush yards. So that projects him to finish right around 145 rushing yards in this game, which is also well over this number. I am backing the most electric running back here in all of college football. Give me Ollie Gordon to go over 130.5 rush yards versus BYU.
Love it, Trey. And I'm going to back the most electric player right now in college football. I'm going to take Jayden Daniels to go over 36.5 fantasy score going up against Texas A&M. LSU, they had their chances. They had their chance to beat Alabama in order to have a shot at the college football playoffs or win the SEC. It didn't happen. They didn't win the game. So what they're now trying to do is make sure Jayden Daniels wins the Heisman. He's right now the favorite to win the Heisman. And this is in the last 2 games for LSU, he's been putting up a ton of points. Over the last 2 games, Jayden Daniels has had a combined 124 fantasy points against Florida and Georgia State. Here's the stats. These are individual stats. Daniels against Georgia State, he had 413 passing yards, 6 passing touchdowns, 96 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns in that game, 8 total touchdowns. In the game against Florida, he had 372 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 234 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. We've learned now this season that LSU can't stop anybody on defense, and nobody's going to be able to stop Daniels in this game. This should be a high-scoring game. I'm going to take Daniels for me to bounce back on my player props to go over 36.5 fantasy score against Texas A&M is my play. Dennis, what play do you like?
I love that Jayden Daniels pick, but I'm going to my game with Ohio State and the guy I think is the best player, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes, sir.
Daniels is a great player, and he'll probably win it, him being a quarterback, but Harrison's going to be a superstar instantly in the NFL. And they didn't show their hand with him last week. You know, they weren't going to run him to death against that team up north there. What do they call them, Minnesota, something like that.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to wear him out there. Didn't have to press him. Tomorrow, big game over his yardage. I've got him myself over 100, but I like him definitely over the receiving yards that it's at.
I'm going to play that with you. I love that play there. 87.5 is too low for that guy. I think he's number 3 right now in the draft projected to go. But, yeah, I love that play. Trey, let's take a look at the graphic before we get out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Virginia Tech here, minus 2.5 against Virginia. I think they should easily win this game by a field goal. Their defense has been amazing, and I think their offense is going to be able to do enough to really just run down this terrible Virginia defense's throat. And I'm also going to go with Ollie Gordon to go over 130.5 rush yards versus BYU. He's been averaging this and more over the last month and a half, 2 months of the season, and BYU has the most or one of the most rush defenses and BYU has one of the most leaky rush defenses in college football.
Yeah, but I'm going with Rice. Minus 4.5 against FAU. FAU not playing for anything. Rice at home for a bowl game. I think they dominate in this game. And then I'm going to take Jayden Daniels. He's had 60-plus fantasy score for the last 2 games, 124 combined. He's fighting for the Heisman. LSU's got nothing to play for except maybe a better bowl game. They're going to make sure Jayden Daniels has his best game of the season. I'm going to go over 36.5 fantasy score for him. But, guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA football plays for Saturday, November 25th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Sorry. Look at the leaderboard. We had multiple questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's 2 options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube, and it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there. Trey,